So, if you're an independent consultant, a coach, a mentor, or really any expert who relies on sharing your specialized knowledge, you're probably spending a ton of time on platforms like LinkedIn, X, or Instagram. And hey, because you're putting great ideas out there, people are naturally reaching out to you, which is absolutely fantastic, right? But let's be real for a second. The way those inbound requests are handled, it's probably completely broken. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into exactly why that is and how you can stop wasting your incredibly valuable time on those vague, messy inbound requests. We're talking about transforming your entire intake process from a chaotic free-for-all into a hyper-streamlined system that delivers decision-ready calls literally right to your desk. Let's jump in.
Okay, hear me out. Can I pick your brain? Wow. I bet just hearing that phrase sent a literal shiver down your spine. I mean, when you see that pop up in your notifications, you aren't exactly jumping for joy about a new prospect, are you? No, you feel a massive heavy sigh coming on because it's just so completely ambiguous. You have literally zero idea what they want, how much time it's going to take, what their actual goal is, or, let's be honest, if they're even willing to pay for your specialized knowledge. It forces you, the expert, to do all the heavy lifting just to figure out what the prospect actually needs. And honestly, that right there is exactly where the whole problem begins.
So here is the harsh reality. Your DM inbox, it is not a sales system. It was never built to be one. It's built for casual, rapid-fire, informal chatting. So when you try to use it as the front door for your professional consulting or mentoring business, it basically just turns into a massive leak. It is actively training your valuable expert time, your energy, and ultimately your revenue. Just think about it. Every single minute you spend trying to decode some vague message is a minute you aren't spending delivering actual value to your paying clients or, actually building your business.
But unfortunately, the chaos doesn't even stop at that initial message. There's this massive, invisible tax being levied against you before a call even begins. When someone sends a vague DM, you're immediately forced into this endless, exhausting loop of follow-up questions. You know the drill. What specifically did you want to discuss? What's your current situation? Wait, what time zone are you in again? You're just constantly battling missing context. And the absolute worst part, even after all that tedious back and forth typing, you often end up on a totally unqualified call with someone who isn't even a right fit for your expertise. Or worse, someone who was just fishing for free advice. It totally drains your mental bandwidth and turns what should be a really rewarding part of your business into a complete chore. Now I want you to imagine the emotional shift of moving away from that chaotic, anxiety-inducing tornado of inbound DMs to a totally calm, organized approval queue. It's like night and day. Instead of feeling completely overwhelmed by notifications and constantly reacting to the scattered inbox, you have a clean, perfectly organized request card for every single inquiry. You're no longer reacting, you are reviewing. It's a total game changer. It is the exact shift from a reactive scramble to a calm, proactive, professional system. So, how do we actually achieve that calm queue? Well, we need to introduce a totally new concept, the Request First Session Desk. Specifically, we're looking at a tool called PonsLink here. Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand that this is not just another automated meeting link where any random person can grab a spot on your calendar. Because, let's face it, handing out a raw calendar link is just trading one form of chaos for another. Instead, this acts as the missing intake layer. Think of it as a dedicated filtering ritual before a call ever has the chance to become a blip on your radar. It forces the prospect to actually pause, organize their thoughts, and officially submit a real request for your time. And as part of this filtering ritual, the visitor is required to leave some very specific, detailed information. If they want to speak with you, they don't just pick a time and show up. No way. They must provide their email, articulate their primary goal, explain their current context, state their desired outcome, drop in any relevant materials you need to review beforehand, and then indicate their preferred time. This does two absolute incredible things. First off, it gives you every single piece of context you need to prepare. But secondly, and honestly and more importantly, it naturally filters out the time wasters. Anyone who just wanted to casually pick your brain will take one look at this form and immediately bounce. The folks who actually take the time to fill this out, those are the highly qualified people who genuinely value your expertise. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this going to annoy my prospects? But here's the thing. While we definitely want to introduce a filtering ritual to protect your time, we absolutely do not want to introduce unnecessary technical friction for a serious prospect. That's exactly why the whole system is completely browser-based. Visitors can submit their detailed requests without ever needing to create an account. They don't have to download some clunky app, they don't have to verify an email address just to log in, and they definitely don't have to remember a new password. The friction we're adding here is purely cognitive. We're just asking them to actually think about what they want. The technical execution of submitting that request, totally seamless. And here is the ultimate payoff for you, because you now have this comprehensive, beautifully organized request card containing their goal, their context, and their desired outcome. You are fully empowered to screen requests and approve only the right sessions. You can literally review an inquiry and instantly know, yes, I can help them, or no, this isn't my area. If you can't help, you just politely decline. No more wasting 30 minutes on a dead-end discovery call. You become the absolute, unapologetic gatekeeper of your own calendar, ensuring that every single session you open is perfectly aligned with your expertise and your business goals.
So I know what you're wondering. How do you actually get your hands on this? Well, the creators behind this Request First Session Desk are currently running a highly exclusive beta program. They are recruiting exactly 20, yes, just 20, international beta testers to help totally refine this exact system. This is a massive opportunity to be right at the forefront of completely transforming how independent experts handle their inbound workflow and to finally ditch that leaky DM inbox for good.
But there are some pretty strict criteria to claim one of these 20 beta seats. First, you have to be receiving real consultation, coaching, mentoring, or paid call requests right now. So this isn't really for folks who are just starting out with zero inbound flow. Second, you got to commit to routing your first 10 real requests through the platform in the wild using English or international examples only. And finally, you have to report back on any friction you or your visitors experience. The whole goal here is to perfect this intake layer, and to do that, they need real-world data from actually busy experts like you.
So let's wrap this up. Just look back at your last few weeks of inbound DMs and the calls that came from them. How much time did you actually lose to all that back and forth messaging? How many calls completely lacked context or just ended up being a terrible fit? Ask yourself, is your expert time worth a filtering ritual? I'd say absolutely yes. If you are tired of chasing DMs and you're ready to turn those vague requests into a calm, predictable queue of decision-ready calls, it might just be time to stop treating your inbox like a sales system and start ruthlessly protecting your most valuable asset, your time. Think about it.